same. Just brand new crew. Back to the spot with the wind don't breeze. Psychic crown with a little low key. Guess that don't count. None found, so invisible. Why do you have to sound so unoriginal? Disallow my vowels, gon' get that bounce up and down that couch impeccable. Kill 'em with a little bit of rhythm for your payroll. I'm over your nation, I'm a nation, get paid. Put 'em in the backtrack, fast like Pablo. Like Pablo, like Pablo, like Pablo.
The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you so know this already. It does not matter who the host is. Anyways, how are you? I hope everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods as we get to hang out on this marvelous Thursday, April the 4th of 2024, day 95th of the year, and only, it's only, not an OnlyFans type of thing, and only 271 days left to go. Anyways, we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big, streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Oh yeah, streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm as things are going and moving and grooving and all that kind of fun stuff. So listen, I have to tell you, we're going to start off right away talking about it because it was, I barely. I don't know how barely I can make this. Barely referenced this yesterday. So I want to talk about it right away. I told three people. You got this? 1, 2. Oh, look, I'm already getting some gestures over here. 3 people that I was about to unleash the information about the conference that we have going up in October. No, sorry, wrong month. That's a different conference. I'll talk about that one later. About the conference we have coming up in September for the Conklin Conference. And it's already made the interwebs. So here you go. In case you were looking for it, it is there. Already happening. Conklin Conference 3. Yeah. Occurring September the 10th through the 12th in Santa Fe, New Mexico. In case you're wanting to know, there is the info. But man, I didn't even get it out the chamber. And it's already on LinkedIn. I had sent the graph to someone, and boom, it's already making it. It's making the rounds. So yes, the rumors are true. The Conklin Conference is occurring in Santa Fe, New Mexico, on September the 10th through the 12th. So there you go. That's one. I'll let you know about the next thing we got going on. As you already know, I already said October, but we'll talk about that later. But yes, that is the conference occurring. We will be there hosting the event like normal here out of Safety FM. So Conklin Conference, if you want to know more information about it, safetyfm.io. Yes, that is an actual website. safetyfm.io. If not, you just go into the section that talks about live events on Safety FM, and that will get you there. So there you go. I didn't even get to say anything else because it seemed to be such a hot topic. There was already reposts and everything about it. I guess it's good. I guess it's good when people start talking that quick about stuff. So there you go. September the 10th through the 12th, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Would love to see you there. Once you get to safetyfm.io, it gives you a breakdown on the people that are going to be there, things that we're talking about. Already got some other stuff planned in there. But people wanted to know, so there you go. There you go. So with that being said, let's talk about some other stuff happening inside of the world, because that is what's going on. So if you're not familiar with what we do here, we talk about safety in the news and safety. That's kind of the concept of our show. Always has been, always will be. Well, I don't know if always has been or always will be, but you get the point. So if you want to interact with us, it's simple. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. Once you get there, you give us some data. It puts it into our system. You can text, you can call, or you can even do a video message. Those are the options that it gives you. Text messaging always seems to be the best thing. Some people go, well, I can do this on Facebook, and I can do this on X, and I can do this on the other social media aspects. Yes, you can. You got that right. You can do all of these things on there if you're so inclined to do so. But, and that's a big but, I do say, it will let you do all that stuff there, but sometimes I don't see it. So that's the only reason I reference that stuff as we are talking. So if you do it on Call-In Radio, we get you through. The other side is that we talk about safety. We talk about the news and safety. Professional broadcaster comes in and gives us the deets on what's going on, because that always seems to be super important to talk about as the world does continue and moving on. So there you go. There you go, there you go, there you go. So, with that being said, why don't we start talking about what the hell was trending in the overnight?
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as I look at the trends of the ends, a traveler gets busted with an extensive suitcase of contraband, and an iconic Vegas spot closes for good. We'll talk about that as we get into the shit list. Also, Lizzo is quitting music, and Jennifer Lopez rebrands her tour. We'll talk about that as we get into showbiz. Also, Kristen Dunst would be on board to a Bring It On sequel under one condition. I wonder what the condition is. And an iconic royal resident opens its door to the public for tours for the first time. We'll talk about that as we get into the details in the royals, because we never have to be royal. So there you go. Just some information purposes of that. So there you go. Some info for you as we are talking, moving, grooving, and all that other fun stuff as we are speaking all at one time. I love how the gesture thing here works sometimes, and then at other times you kind of just stand there and you're going, is the gestures working today? Not working today? I never know. Maybe, peace and love. How do they do it? Peace and love. Okay, there you go. Some fake animation for you, so we can talk about that. Anyway, so with that being said, let's do this, because I think it is time to discuss what the hell is going on inside of the world of the news. So with that being said, let's get into it, because I have people that are waiting in the wing that want to talk to you right away about what is going on. So let's do the news right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Rescuers are working to reach hundreds of people still stranded after Taiwan's worst earthquake in 25 years. The official estimate of people stranded jumped after phone signals were restored in remote regions. Pressures growing on UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to halt arms sales to Israel after the deaths of 7 aid workers in Gaza. More than 600 lawyers have warned the British government it's at risk of breaking international law itself by supplying Israel with arms. Rishi Sunak insists there is a very careful arms licensing regime in place. And former Conservative Armed Forces Minister Lord Robotham says the UK should continue to support Israel's aim of defeating Hamas.
Do you want Hamas to win? That is the question. Let's put it this way. If Hamas get a ceasefire which allows them to regroup, they have won. I don't support the Israeli position necessarily, but I do know that we have to see Hamas destroyed.
At least 4 people have been killed and 16 injured in a blast at a chemical factory that took place in South India. The factory is owned by a pharmaceutical company. Rebecca Bunden reports from Mumbai.
The blast happened on Wednesday at the factory in Sangareddy in the Indian state of Telangana. Local news reports say that a reactor exploded. Rescue teams rushed to the site and managed to save many people who'd been trapped. Several people are being treated in hospital. This is the latest in a series of incidents, including fires that have broken out at factories in India, raising concerns over industrial safety standards in the country. Rebecca Bundon, Mumbai.
18 people have been hospitalised after lightning hit a football game in Japan. Chris Gilbert reports from Tokyo.
The practice match between Kumamoto's Kamoto High School and the home side Hosho High School was being played in overcast conditions in Japan's southwestern prefecture of Miyazaki on Wednesday when the lightning bolt hit the ground. Firefighters went to the scene and took 18 people to hospital. 2 students from the away team were originally in a serious condition, but one later regained consciousness. A thunderstorm advisory had been in place at the time, but the high school reportedly says it did not suspend the game because rain that day had stopped and there were no signs of thunder. Footage from a nearby airport shows several strong bolts of lightning hitting the ground in the surrounding area at the same time. Chris Gilbert in Tokyo.
Major UK airports are set to miss a deadline to bring in new scanners that will remove the need for limits on liquids in hand luggage. There was due to be a June the 1st rollout date for installing technology, which will mean passengers can keep liquids and laptops in their hand luggage as they go through security. Major airports that miss the deadline may see financial penalties imposed. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, the Israeli response to claims that a World Central Kitchen convoy was deliberately targeted on Monday in Gaza, resulting in the killings of 7 aid workers trying to help alleviate famine in the territory. The claims were made on Wednesday by chef Jose Andres, who created the NGO and has led its operations in a variety of hostile global environments. He says the convoy was clearly marked, had coordinated its movements with the Israeli military, and yet was struck 3 separate times, its vehicles destroyed across a 2-kilometre range. Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner is a spokesperson for the Israel Defence Force.
We have an ongoing investigation looking into the circumstances, exactly what happened. We have been in touch with Chef Jose Andres, expressing our condolences for the tragic events that led to the death of the staff of the World Central Kitchen. What we are currently interested in is concluding the operational investigation and the independent investigation, and we hope that those both will be done in the next couple of days so that we can ensure that humanitarian efforts can continue.
But when he talks there of an independent investigation, he means an inquiry launched by the IDF but led from outside its chain of command, not the truly independent outside investigation that critics are demanding. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, rescuers are working to reach hundreds of people still stranded after Taiwan's worst earthquake in 25 years. Pressures growing on UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to halt arms sales to Israel after the deaths of 7 aid workers in Gaza. At least 4 people have been killed and 16 injured in a blast at a chemical factory in South India. And 18 people have been hospitalised after lightning hit a football match in Japan. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Listen to our host
Of the Rated R Safety Show.
self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
Embrace a daily boost of nature with Field of Greens. Discover the simple power of 1 scoop to elevate your well-being. Enjoy the flavor that appeals to you the most and let the blend of organic fruits and vegetables enhance your life. Experience the following benefits with Fields of Greens. Noticeable energy increase to power you throughout the day.
Improved quality of sleep.
Enhanced digestive comfort and a general uplift in your wellness. Field of Greens stands out with the selection of organically grown ingredients, each carefully picked for its benefits to your heart and overall health. We are confident that you'll appreciate the benefits of Field of Greens. If it doesn't meet your expectations, we offer a straightforward money-back guarantee. Jumpstart your health journey with a special offer, 15% off your first purchase plus complimentary expedited shipping. Just visit fieldofgreens.com. and use the code SAFETYFM to redeem your discount. That's SAFETYFM at fieldofgreens.com. Experience nature's touch at fieldofgreens.com/SAFETYFM. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
It's a new year, but it's feeling harder than ever to find and hire qualified people you need, especially for small businesses. That's where LinkedIn Job comes in. They make it easier to find people you want to talk to faster and for free. You can create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience and use screening questions to get your role in front of the most qualified people. Then use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs number one in delivering qualified hires versus leading competitors. I have to tell you that we have used LinkedIn Jobs to even find some of the people that we have here at Safety FM. LinkedIn Jobs can help you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your jobs for free on linkedin.com/safetyfm. That's linkedin.com/safetyfm to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And don't forget to tell them that you heard it right here on Safety FM.
You are listening to a radio god. What? This has to be an error. That host is not a radio god. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Well, you know that here at Safety FM and Radio Big, we're always trying to look for life hacks. So with the busy season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for your jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kits, can help you fuel up with fast chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, and ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Refresh your healthy habits without missing a beat. Choose from 34 weekly flavored packs. Dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. All you need to do is head over to factorsmeals.com/safetyfm50 and use code safetyfm50 to get 50% off. That's code safetyfm50 at factormeals.com/safetyfm50 to get 50% off. Go there. Do it now.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Oh, yes, there you go. 18 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Thursday and doing all the fun stuff that we get to do, because why would we not be talking about fun stuff? Because that's what we do. We talk about the fun. You see, I am so convinced that these elements only want to work when they want to. Anyways, there you go. Let's talk real quick. The average American feels that he or she needs $1.46 million to retire comfortably. That's up nearly $200,000 from the same survey conducted last year by the insurance company Northwest Mutual. And it gets worse. The average respondents had a nest egg worth only about $400,000. Responses also varied by generation. Boomers said that they would need just shy of over $1 million, while millennials expect to have $1.65 million, to drastically from $1 million that they said back in 2020. So, what do you think here? What are you thinking? So, among respondents who had at least $1 million in investable assets, they anticipated needing about $4 million to retire comfortably. So, here's the thing. You know, when you start getting into the retirement conversation, I have the big questions that come up of, if you're going to retire, how does it work for you? What is the age? I mean, I have friends that retired as early as their mid-40s. I have friends that have retired in their late 70s. I have people that I know that retired, variation of ages, and not really well planned out. So I don't know. I look at it and I go, how does it work? What's the best case scenario? And how much money do you think you need to have? If you're still looking for a starting point, because some people do, maybe you go to the Ramsey Group and talk to them and see what the hell they have planned out. Because I think their plan normally works out pretty well. Anyways, next time you fly, remember that to put liquids in small bottles, ditch your e-cigarettes, and leave your 74 pounds of marijuana at home. Yeah, a Detroit woman was busted over the weekend for attempting to haul that much marijuana on a flight from Boston to London. The stash was divided between two suitcases, vacuum sealed with AirTag trackers in each. The street value would be around $370,000. The suspect, 28-year-old Alexis Palmer, managed to fly from Detroit to Boston with her drugs first. Palmer told authorities that she was just a mule carrying the luggage that was given to her by a stranger and never looking inside. She admitted to transporting other bags in the past for pay by an unnamed man that she met in Atlanta 4 years ago. She's due in court at the end of May. This is according to CBS Detroit. So listen, because that's going to be some of the options that you have right now. I don't know what to really say here. So you had 74 pounds worth of marijuana. You had no idea what you were carrying because you're the mule, and you've been doing this for 4 years. Number one, how did you not get busted before? That's question numero uno. The next thing that I want to know is, wow, 4 years, what are they paying you for you to be willing to take bags across that you had no idea what the hell was in there? Because it gets weird, and it gets weird quick. What do you think about this? I mean, I'm super paranoid about being at the airport where I know I have to move things around, where I can't even fathom trying to move that amount of drugs or move anything, period. If you're really gonna go into the nitty gritty here, no doubt about it. So there you go. Anyway, so take a listen to this. A Florida homeowner woke up on Sunday to find an extensive damage to her car and called the cops, only to find out that a pair of hungry pit bulls were responsible for the damage. Home security footage shows that a cat skirling underneath her car and it in the driveway as the dogs followed her shortly after. Appearing to think that the cat had made it into the vehicle. That's when the dog started clawing at the car body enough to tear through the entire section before eventually running off after the cat got away. No leads yet on who the dogs belong to. The owners expect it's about $3,000 in cosmetic repairs. This is according to WKMG. So $3,000 worth of repairs for two doggos trying to get to a cat. I mean, that gets weird quick. And whose security camera was it? Because that's the other thing that I want to know. Because if you're calling the cops and you're saying, hey, there's some damage to my car, I have no idea who the hell did this. And then you kind of notice that in your security footage or a security footage or the security footage, however you want to word it, that it was some dogs. Do you kind of already know what the hell was going on before you got there? I'm just asking the question because I want to have a better understanding. So just days away from the 67th anniversary of the Tropicana Las Vegas, once known as the Tiffany on the Strip, closed its doors for the final time on Tuesday. The Vegas staple is set to be knocked down in October to make room for a new Major League Baseball stadium, which will become the home of the Athletics in 2028. Not all will be lost, however. Many of the iconic and historical things that the hotel will be rehomed in the Vegas area, including at UNLV, the Neon Museum, and Showgirls Museum. There's a Showgirls Museum? I didn't know that. Fun fact, the Tropicana was featured in the 1971 film Diamonds Are Forever. Then James Bond stayed at a suite there, and it was also a frequent hangout for the Rat Pack. Has a lot of mob ties and connections. This is according to New York Times. So what do you think about this? So, okay, you're closing down. Now, keep in mind, we're in April. So you're closing 6 months ahead of the curve. No, seriously, you're closing 6 months ahead of the curve here. in regards to what's going on. So what are you thinking? Because it's going to get weird to an extent. I mean, let me explain why I say it's going to get weird. Because you're closing down. You have all this history, and you were just shy of celebrating your 67th year anniversary. And this is an iconic establishment. Now, listen, you have to keep maintenance up with some of these things for things to work. I mean, it's just the reality of how things happen. So as you look at this, as you talk about it, as you get into the world of it, what do you think? I'm just asking the question. So there you go. So take a listen to this. Botswana conservation efforts have helped grow the elephant population. There was an estimated 130,000 savanna elephants that represent nearly 1/3 of the entire global population of such animals. For locals, elephants are dangerous pests that destroy agriculture and kill people and animals. So the government managed a robust hunting industry. But in Germany, regulators want to tighten the country's loose trophy animal importation laws while currently allow any or all of them to remain to kill and come home with a hunter. Yeah, not a joke. In response, the president said that they tell the German newspaper that Bild, the German newspaper is called Bild, B-I-L-D, that is in the new rules to go into place, he'll send 20,000 elephants to Germany. It's very easy to sit in Berlin and have an option about our affairs in Botswana. Also, the president is adding that we are paying the price for preserving the animals for the world. Also, the president says that he isn't joking, that the potential ban would affect the entire European Union, not just Germany. So what do you think here? I'm just asking. This is coming out of NBC News. So there you go. Some stuff going on right there, no doubt about that, as we are talking. Anyways, take a listen to this. Juan Vicente Pérez Mora, the world's oldest man, has died. He passed away on Tuesday, according to a post from the governor in Venezuela, where the super sentient lived. No official cause of death was given. Mora has converted the world's oldest man by the Guinness World Records in February of 2022 at 112 and 253 days old. As for his secret to living so long, a shot of booze every day. No, that was the secret code. It was a shot of booze every day. Anyways, take a listen to this real quick. The Dow lost about 43 points to close at 39,127 on Wednesday. The S&P ticked up just about 5 points to close at 5,211, and the NASDAQ added about 37 points to close at 16,277. West Texas Intermediate closed at $85 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $89 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.54 on Wednesday, and Bitcoin leveled back out, trading just under $66,000 on Wednesday evening. There was more than 5,950 flights delayed within, into, and out of the United States on Wednesday, and more than just about 825 such cancellations. Friday night's Mega Million drawing will be for $67 million jackpot or a $31 million cash payout. So there you go. If you're wanting to play the game, you have the opportunity to do so. Let's talk real quick about some show business news, because that's what we do now. We kind of intertwine some of the things that we have going on between one show and the other. So there you go. So let's do this. When Lizzo said I quit on social media over the weekend, she didn't mean that she was done with either creating music or social media. Instead, she now says that she's no longer giving attention to negative energy surrounding her. The update comes in the heels of months of allegations from her backup dancers who claimed that they were sexually harassed and body shamed while working with Lizzo. This is according to Deadline. So not 100% sure what's going on. Just a reference piece of the information of what is going down. Anyways, take a listen to this. Mike Tyson is serious about his upcoming fight with Jake Paul. During a recent appearance on Hannity, Iron Mike said that he is living in the gym right now, that he wants to make sure that he's in incredible shape for his match on July the 20th. As of whose side Hannity's on, he told Mike to beat the daylight out of Paul and shut him up. I will just do that for you, Tyson said. This is according to TMZ. Let's make sure that we understand what the records are right now. Paul is 9-1 with 6 KOs, while Tyson is 50-6 with 44 KOs. Tyson will turn 58 a month before the bout, while Paul is 27. So I'm not sure on how that's going to go. I'm just bringing it up for information purposes, just so you know. Earlier, we talked about some J-Lo, so let's continue with that. Jennifer Lopez is giving her tour a revamp, adding the greatest hits to the name. After canceling 7 dates due to weak ticket sales, J-Lo made the decision to change the tour to include not only her newest album, This Is Me Now, but also some of the greatest hits. The move suggests that the fans have having a hard time connecting with her latest tunes, this is according to Variety. So there you go. I don't know. I look at all this stuff and I go, what's important? What's not important and all that? So before we get into other things, before we get into the main story, let's talk about this. I told you about Kristen Dunst at the very beginning. Kristen Dunst would be on board to do a Bring It On sequel, but only if it's done tastefully. I don't even know what that means. Speaking on Entertainment Tonight, Dunn said that she would be open to do the idea of a follow-up to the 2010 comedy as long as it's not embarrassing. The original Dunn stars as the newly crowned cheer captain who discovers her group's routines have been stolen from a nearby East Compton Clovers that led by head cheerleader Isis. I don't know. Is this a big deal? What would be done tastefully? I mean, maybe that's the question that I'm trying to figure out, because it does not make a lot of sensicles to me. A lot of sensicles to that whole thing. So there you go. Anyways, it is 32 minutes past the top of the hour, so why don't we do this? Because I think it's time to do that story of the main of the story. So let's do that right now.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as we are hanging out on this lovely Thursday, there's a lot of stuff to think about. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of stuff to do. You know, I was having a conversation earlier this week, and it's amazing on how quick this year has already went by. I mean, to think that we're already in April and it seems like this thing has already started, it's amazing on how things go. And I keep on looking and going around and going, how does this work? Not the timeline thing, because that's going to be a whole other conversation that we could leave for this. But how does it work as we continue to advance in the work that we do? So as you're looking and doing the work that you do, what happens? Are you focusing solely on whatever the task in hand is? Meaning, if you're in a department that does operations, are you only focusing on operations? If you're in safety, are you only focusing on stuff that's safety? If you are in merchandising, are you only doing stuff about merchandising? If you are in manufacturing, are you only focusing on manufacturing? Now, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because we have to have these conversations that are related to, we'll say, personal growth. And some people are going to sit back for a moment and go, well, this is not really safety related that you're talking about during the main story. And that's okay, because that is going to play in a factor into the other things that you do. Personal growth is one of the biggest things that you'll be able to accomplish inside of your lifetime. And why do I say that? I say that from the standpoint of, think about it. You are involved with interacting with people, not sometimes, but almost all the time, unless you have a very weird job. And this will give you the opportunity to expand on how to be able to interact with people. And I'm talking from the personal growth aspect. Now, when I sit here and say this, people are going to go, are you trying to get me into a conference? Are you trying to get me to do a class online? Are you trying to get me to read a book? Well, all of those things that are mentioned are options. And if this is something new to you that you've never done before about the personal growth and expansion, start off light. And I mean start off light. I'm saying start off with such a small fashion of doing this that it's different. If you want to do some level of personal growth, get a book. Get a book about a subject matter that you're interested on how things can change for you. If you're not interested in that aspect, don't do a book on personal growth. Do a book on something entirely different. Because here's the thing, you don't want to jump into something that you're not 100% comfortable with. Why do I say that? Because what happens most of the times is that people do the extreme thing, meaning that they're on one side and all of a sudden they go, okay, I'm going to run all the way to the other, and it becomes too much. So I would take a look at something that is important to you. If you're having problems communicating with people, look into the one that's related to communication. There probably is an online course here or there or anywhere that you can find on how to communicate with people. Now, listen, I'll tell you, I go through all kinds of personal development stuff all the time. I'm constantly trying to read books. I'm constantly trying to go through any kind of level of class that I can get my hand on to have a better understanding. A few days ago, I was actually in a class about technology and understanding new digital technology that's out there. And that was because it's not a personal growth class, but it's something that to understand a little bit better. And the reason behind this is because some of these digital formats is how people are communicating now in regards of being able to move forward. So this is the stuff that I look at and I reference. If you apply some of these concepts of learning on how to communicate, communication being the one that I'm talking about, but there's all kinds of different ones. Think about how much further you will be able to get with people that you're not familiar with. People that communicate differently than you. Because I used to have this terrible habit of go information opposed to taking time for people to sit back and listen and giving people time to communicate. Now, if you're close to me, you know that we're just going to run together because that's just the way that it works. But giving that moment of time is crucial. So if you had the chance today to focus on something that you could develop, something that you could change in regards on how you do stuff, what would you focus on? Is there a class available? Is there a book available? Is there a podcast available on the subject matter?
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, Internet Service Providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN. want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves. Only on Safety FM.
Have you ever wanted to start live streaming and were not sure how to do it? You can start live streaming up to 40 social media platforms all at one time for as little as nada. It's going to cost you your time. That is what it's going to cost. You can pre-record, you can live stream, you can do a multitude of things. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.com/one. That's safetyfm.com, ONE.
Tearing the ass out of you like gas station sushi.
Same, just brand new crew. Back to the spot with the wind don't breeze. Psychic crown with a little low key. Guess that don't count. None found, so invisible. Why do you have to sound so unoriginal? Disallow my vowels, gon' get that bounce up and down that couch, impeccable. Kill 'em with a little bit of rhythm for your payroll. I'm over your mission, I'm a legendary peso. Put 'em in the backtrack, pass like Pablo. Like Pablo, like Pablo, like Pablo. Lord of the G's, what mate? Force of the weak mind on the leash, room for the crease, middle east like snowflakes. Whether the weather gon' make a dilemma, just let a vendetta go bring it beretta. You butter your alpha or make a ticket, but forget it, you cheddar now never. Kill 'em with a little bit of rhythm for your payroll. I'm over your mission, I'm a legendary peso. Put 'em in the backtrack, pass like Pablo. Like Pablo, like Pablo, like Pablo.
Okay, you are still listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Same old same.
44 minutes past the top of the hour on this lovely Thursday, April the 4th. Yeah, it's going to be a month before you start saying, may the 4th be with you. But we'll leave that for a different time. So there you go. Some information for you. Some stuff going on. Some stuff going down. Anyways, let me tell you real quick about this because this is going to be important. This right here is called Pave Low. This is by Liam Back. Not Black, but Back. Give this song a little streamer-eamer action if you'd like. Available on Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music, just to name a few. Yeah, you know, you can go out there and rock out to it if you want. That's the kind of stuff that we get to do. So there you go. We We would like to thank Liam back for this one. Always a good time as we are hanging out. There you go. Let's get just back into what's going on in regards of what is happening. So, with this being said, a lot of stuff happening inside of the world like always, but I think it's time for us to talk about the most important part of anything I'm ever going to tell you. And that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. And people at To Write Love on Her Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get to the website, go all the way to the far right because that's going to be the important portion on once you get there. I mean, there's all kinds of great information, but if you're looking for this precise information, click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, you're going to notice that there's all kinds of information related to internal resources, or international resources, better saying. There's going to be stuff about frequently asked questions, scholarships, and even programs for you to be able to suggest if you're so inclined to do so. Once you get there, there'll be information around addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide trauma, grief support resources, just to name a few things. So if you're looking for that information, it's right there readily available for you. All you have to do is go to Write Love on Her Arms, TWLOHA.com. So there you go. Some great information for you to do and look at and all of that. Okay? TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. So with that being said, let's continue talking about some things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that is what we do around here. So let's talk about this. It seems that virtual dating, which became a big thing during the worst of the pandemic, is back in style. Why? Because going out has become so expensive. The dating app Wingman says that Gen Z in particular has embraced the virtual first date, which lets people test the waters of potential new partner without making a financial investment. Apparently, about 65% of Wingman users aged between the age of 18 to 27 choose to meet on Zoom or other type of video call as the first date instead of meeting up, according to a spokesperson for the app. Gen Zers don't bat an eye at it either. You can have a quick chat, or you can even see if it makes a spark. Some even get some of the atmosphere of the regular date, but at a lower cost by ordering takeout for the date call. So there you go. That's kind of weird. So you're doing a date via a chat to take place on what is going on. So I guess that's an interesting one. So why not let her see how cheap you are right away, right off the bat, I say. Also, fine, but it doesn't have to kind of meet how you feel when you're interviewing your real date. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing. So do you still feel the love if you're doing it on the standpoint of actually being there? I mean, maybe that's the question that I would really want to have a better understanding about, opposed to it just being one of those conversations that nobody truly knows what is going on. So maybe that's the thing to think about. So there you go. So all you have to do is, I guess, get your favorite favorite app for you to get on a date. That's just one way to take a look at it, I guess, when it's all said and done. So there you go. Some very weird things. Take a listen to this. Okay, there's a nerd alert right now, but this is pretty cool. It looks like that although Apple Maps may soon customize directions that it gives you based on the type of car that you're driving, among other things. Stay with me here because I'm going to try to explain this with you. Yes, Apple Maps has long been a poor little brother to the competitor Google Maps, but it has taken steps to enhance the app. In the latest patent filing, it indicates it may have plans to provide customized routes for those using features like CarPlay based on the user's vehicle engine profile. For example, it could provide users provide users with driving directions on their fuel level. This may also be the route that could help you stop at a gas station and need even cooler. If you're driving an electric vehicle, directions that can be customized on how the EV can go before it needs to be charged, and Apple Maps would make it sure that the routes include a charging station along the way. Of course, that's among many of the things that it could do. And I'd prefer that it includes a charging station along the way without a lineup. Maybe that's the other aspect of the whole thing. So there you go. The only problem that I can see if Apple Maps decides on a route that my wife doesn't want to go on, maybe that's going to become a bigger problem than anything else. So there you go. Some stuff to think about as we are talking. So there you go. There you go. What a weird world we live in regards of, we're sitting here talking now about now maps will be able to determine because of the kind of car that you have. So if you have one of these gas guzzlers, is it going to tell you that you shouldn't go down a certain route because that's going to be a different aspect there? So some things to talk about as we are looking. So there you go. Some interesting stuff as we are talking, no doubt about that. Anyways, let's do this. Let's get some John Smalls into our life because I think that this is going to be important as we talk about the Motivation Minute. Seriously. The Motivation
Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Preston. Sun Tzu said, "Opportunities multiply as they are seized." Have you seized any opportunities lately? I have, and guess what? They've absolutely multiplied too. Like a fun comedy event I was able to do a few years ago. It started with a conversation about a beautiful venue that was brand new. That opportunity was fun on its own, but that one fun event led to about 6 more fun events in the same location. Then that led to another opportunity at a different location. And that super fun opportunity has already brought in a few more opportunities that are booked right now. All of this because I complimented them on their facility and I offered to help fill it.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. One of Paul's most endearing traits was his love and appreciation for his co-workers. In his epistles, he mentioned 78 co-workers by name. What a transformation from the driven man who refused to give John Mark a second chance to this battle-worn apostle who writes, "I thank my God every time I remember you. It is right for me to feel this way about you. Since I have you in my heart, God can testify how I long for all of you with the affection of Christ Jesus." That's Philippians 1. Lord Jesus, help us to love each other as you have loved us. In your holy name we pray. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show. I don't know why our host has a face for radio. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. 53 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's talk real quick about some things that happened back on this date. As I take a look around, back in 1968, civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. is assassinated on his hotel balcony in Memphis, Tennessee. All evidence pointed to James Earl Ray as the shooter, who was captured after an extensive manhunt. He was found in London on his way to Zimbabwe. After his trial, he pled guilty in order to avoid the death sentence. He was sentenced to 99 years in prison. Talking about some things that happened back on this day, let's talk about this too. Back in 1975, Bill Gates and Paul Allen, who were friends at Harvard, joined forces to develop and sell basic interpreters to Altair 8800. Allen came up with the name Microsoft, a combination of microcomputer and software. So there you go. That happened back in 1975. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, let's talk about this. Austin Mahone turns 28. Chris O'Neill, 30. Jamie Lynn Spears, 33. Eric Andre, 41. Natasha Leon, 45. James Rade Rodriguez turns 48. David Blaine, 51. Jill Scott, 52. Robert Downey Jr. turns 59. David Cross, 60. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman turns 67. And Greg T. Nelson turns 80 today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, I have some of those for you. It's National Hug a News Person Day, National School Librarian Day, World Drummers Day, National Alcohol Screening Day, National Burrito Day, World Rat Day, National Ramen Day, Tell a Lie Day, International Carrot Day, National Walk Around Things Day, National Vitamin C Day, Dare Day, and National Chicken Cordon Bleu Day. So there you go. A lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to look at, a lot of stuff to, I guess, munch on, depending on how you want to celebrate some of these things, is what it sounds like for sure. No doubt about that. So let's do this real quick. Let's get into this one. Let's do some whack facts. Data scientists analyze over 10,000 words to discover that the happiest word in the English language is laughter. Lemurs was once the size of gorillas. Mars has a mountain named Olympic Mons, which is almost 3 times taller than Everest. You blink 5 to 10 million times per year. The symbol used for cartoonists to indicate swearing are called growlaxes. Growlaxes. And adding the number on a roulette wheel equals a total of 666. Oh, I believe that one's going to take you into some weird places if you start taking a look at that one. That's for sure. Okay, if you need a random joke for today, here you go. I told my psychiatrist that I've been hearing voices. He told me that I don't have a psychiatrist. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What simple to others task or skill can you just not get into your head around? If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. 28% of us shown up to do this at least once in the past year. What is it? Dinner reservations. So there you go. 28%. So there you go. So there you go. There you go. So that's going to sum up our time together. Thanks for hanging out on this lovely Thursday. Yeah. What an interesting time. One more time just to reference it. Conklin Conference coming up September the 10th through the 12th. In Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's Conklin Conference number 3, just in case if you were wondering. So that way you can take a look, hang out with Todd Conklin and the gang. Santa Fe, New Mexico, on what is going on. It'll be a grand time. So safetyfm.io for more information on what's happening right there. So there you go. Thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener. Without you, it does not make a lot of sense to do what we do around here. At the top of the hour, I'll be going over to Radio Big exclusively, just so you know, while Sheldon Primus comes in and takes over and does the things that he does, talking about the world of safety consulting. If I can't leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this. Every time you're able to find humor in a difficult situation, guess what? You win. That's it. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye. Oh, really? Here's the news?
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
Same old same, just brand new crew. Back to the smoke with the wind don't breathe. Psychic crown with a little low key. Guess that don't count. None found, so invisible. Why do you have to sound so unoriginal? Disallow my vowels, gon' get that bounce up and down that couch, impeccable. Kill 'em with a little bit of rhythm for your payroll. I'm over your mission, I'm a mission, get paid. Put 'em in the back, right past like Pablo. Like Pablo, like Pablo, like Pablo. Kill 'em with a little bit of rhythm. Kill 'em with a little bit of rhythm. the G's. What, mate? Force of the weak mind on a leash, room for the grease, Middle East like snowflake.